Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. I want to talk to y'all about the Speaker of the House drama and why we should be paying attention to it. I don't know why I just have this feeling something came to me. Um, I don't know if it's right or appropriate to think this, but just work with me. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. So y'all know the Speaker of the House is like next in line to assume the presidency in the event that something happens to uh, the commander in chief, and the vice president is moved up into the role of president. So the Speaker of the House would be next in line to become president. So I just find it interesting that right now, during this time, during this transition to this beast infrastructure, this new global order, and as we get ready to head into World War III, well, we're already in World War III, but as you know, resources are needed to make this thing happen. We don't have a house that can pass any laws that can fund anything. And the fact that we don't have a Speaker of the House is quite interesting because it means we don't have the second in command. So I want to share with you this blog post from the Constitution Center and what the role is of the House Speaker and why this particular time is, when we're witnessing what we're witnessing, everything that is happening now is like unprecedented. And it's just been an unprecedented year from beginning to end, from getting the House Speaker to losing the House Speaker to not being able to get a House Speaker, and the fact that here we're in wartime, in the midst of multiple wars, in the midst of, for whatever reason, Papa being sent over seas in the middle of a hot war between two nations, a religious war, and it is televised and um, telegraphed across all the evil communications, almost as if somebody wants something to happen. I don't know. I'm just saying y'all should really be paying attention to some of this stuff that's going on because it's not normal. You don't make an announcement that the president is going to go over to a hot zone in the middle of war. Like when they do that, I ain't never seen that happen. You'll go to bed and the president will be in DC in the White House, and you wake up the next morning. He made a surprise visit to whatever hot war zone it is to, give a morale boost to the troops and have a concert or whatever it is, or eat mess hall food with the folks and take pictures and give a speech. Never have you ever just seen them announce, oh, he's going over there and they're blowing up everything and he's going to be there tomorrow. His plane touched down here and, oh, they blew up some stuff so he had to leave. When have you ever seen that happen? I have never seen that happen for the alleged leader of the free world. So I smell a dead cat on the line. And I keep going back to that Simpsons clip that I showed y'all earlier about some of the things that they predicted. And y'all know they predicted before the end of the year that we was gonna have a first black female president, and this y'all go back and look at history and go back and look at some of them old Simpsons episodes, and then just pay attention to what's happening now. I don't think nothing is by accident, and I feel like something big is coming. But anyway, let me get into this. So this came out on October the 4th, and it's a blog post. So it says the current controversy over the Speaker of the House of Representatives has highlighted that position's role as one of the most important elected officials in Washington. But little was spelled out in the Constitution about the position and House uh, how the House selected the Speaker. The Speaker is usually selected during party meetings before a Congress meets, and the House confirms the selection by individual voices. The Clerk of the House presides over the voting process. Before 1839, secret ballots were used in voting. Until 2023, there had not been a Speaker election contested on the House floor since 1923. So 1923 to 2023. That would be 100 years. Signs, symbols, colors, codes. That's how the powers work. So pay attention to that. And the removal of Representative Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House is unprecedented in congressional history. On October 3rd, 2023, McCarthy was removed from his position by a seldom used tactic, a motion to vacate. The motion to vacate dates back to Thomas Jefferson's A Manual of Parliamentary Practice, and it permits an individual representative to have the entire House vote to vacate the Speaker's chair. A majority is required to vacate the Speaker's chair, or in other words, oust the Speaker from his position until a new Speaker can be elected. Such a motion to vacate had only been subject to a floor vote once in the House's history. In 1910, Representative Joseph Cannon, who's from Illinois and a Republican, survived a motion to vacate. On two other occasions, lawmakers considered a motion to vacate, but the vote never made it to the House floor. The House changed its rules in 2019 to require a majority of its representatives to motion to vacate. I'm sorry, to require a majority of its representatives to move to motion to vacate to the floor, but the traditional motion of vacate was added back in 2023, January 2023, during the contentious voting over the Speaker's position. Interesting as well, right at the 100-year mark. They added this. No other time but this year. The House vacated the former Speaker McCarthy's chair in a 216 to 208 vote, with 8 Republicans joining the Democrats. Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina will serve as acting Speaker pro tempore until the House Republican Conference chooses a new leader. So the role of the Speaker is what I want to focus on. So it says the Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, spells out a very broad role for the Speaker. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. The founders' vision appeared to be for the Speaker to serve as a parliamentarian and peacemaker, more along the lines of the Speaker in the British House of Commons. In 1811, Henry Clay became the first dynamic national political figure to assume the role of Speaker of the House. Since Clay's 3 terms in the House, various speakers have used different leadership styles in the critical job as National Party spokesperson and House institutional leader. Since Clay's time, the role of the Speaker of the House has become more complex as the size of government has grown. Today, the Speaker of the House serves in several major constitutional roles. The Speaker is the majority political party leader in the House, which on its own is one of the most powerful jobs in Washington. In addition, the Speaker controls order of all institutional business on the House floor. The Speaker also votes on business as needed as a representative from a congressional district. In these positions, the Speaker plays a role as negotiator between the House and the President, and with the Senate, and as the point person for the House's fundamental role in originating and passing legislation and controlling the power of the purse, the montes, to tax and spend taxpayer money. Now, this is essential. We need to keep an eye on this because without this, now keep in mind, we only have a temporary stopgap bill for our budget. We don't have a full year budget, which is why I'm sitting on pins and needles right now because this latest authorization only goes to mid-November. So if you don't get a speaker and get this stuff done by then the government is going to shut down. Everything is going to stop without a House Speaker. There will not be any bills passed, no legislation passed, and that means no money authorized. You're not going to have money for war. You won't have money to pay your troops. You won't have money for nothing. People won't be able to get their checks. People who live off of um, government assistance or rely on it won't be able to receive those resources. Organizations that get grant funds, whether it's your state entities, law enforcement, money for roads, money for schools, money for child care programs, all that will stop. So this is significant. But not only that, your soldiers who are in battle or getting ready to battle, fighting overseas in the Middle East, all your soldiers on these warships and in these fighter jets, they're not going to get paid, which means their families back at home won't be taken care of. This is a huge deal that I don't think we're really processing. But it also shows the world that America is broken. So your enemy will kick you when you're down. And so that's kind of what I'm concerned about. But I'm also concerned about, this seems shisty, Lil Pooh shisty right now. So it says the speaker also is second in line after the vice president to the presidency under the Presidential Succession Act of 1947, and the speaker plays a role in the 25th Amendment process of dealing with the event of a presidential disability. This is where I'm concerned because, one, we don't have a second in line, and two, if you needed to remove Papa or anybody, you can't do it because we don't have a speaker. Not saying that they would, because this is very difficult, but it's just the point of it all. Like, nothing is going to work right because we don't have a House Speaker. And of course, they never let a good crisis go to waste, which is why I am concerned, because to me this is a constitutional crisis, and this is what the powers would need in order to usher in their national emergency declaration to do whatever mannerism of things, or to not do anything, and we're all focused on that, and then they allow these treaties and these things that they're working on with these other bodies that are not elected go into effect, so that by default, because we weren't paying attention, these things become law, and then you can't do anything about it. They're binding. So I'm very concerned about all of this. So It says at the end of this, it says, and there is one interesting, unique footnote about the Speaker of the House position. The job candidate doesn't have to be a member of the House of Representatives, but as of 2023, no person has been chosen as Speaker who has not been a member of the House. So that's why you keep hearing all these names floated about George Bush can be the House Speaker, or Trump can be the House Speaker, this one can be the House Speaker. Anybody, your grandmama, if she living, they could nominate her to be the House Speaker as long as she's a Republican. I guess that's how they're going to roll that. But it doesn't say that either. So we should be really concerned right now that they can't find anybody to do the job and that nobody wants to do the job and people keep bowing out. I'm sure people keep bowing out because they got dirty draws. Once you get the job, folks gonna find out how dirty and low down you are. But anyway, this is the latest on what's happening. So this says House Speaker vote live updates. Republicans cast secret ballots. 5 candidates remain. They will keep voting until at least one candidate gets the majority. It says after 3 weeks without a speaker, House Republicans are again trying to fill the top post, gathering behind closed doors Tuesday morning to cast secret ballots until one candidate gets a majority. The candidate with the fewest votes will be eliminated after each round. As of Tuesday morning, 5 Republicans are still in the running for speaker after the historic removal of Kevin McCarthy earlier this month. The chaotic battle for the gavel has dragged on after House Majority Leader Steve Scalise was nominated, but backed out when it became clear he didn't have the votes. Last week, the conference dropped Jordan as their nominee after his speakership bid failed for a third time on the House floor. Second round results, Bergman is out. Emmer gets most votes again. Representative Jack Bergman of Michigan has been eliminated in the second ballot. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer received the most votes again. These were the results of the second secret ballot, according to members. So Tom Emmer, 90, Mike Johnson, 37, Byron Donalds, 33, Kevin Hern, 31, Austin Scott, 14, and Jack Bergman, 7. First round results, Sessions was eliminated. Emma received the most votes. So it just seems like they can't get nothing going here. Alabama's Gary Palmer drops out. 7 candidates remain. So they just can't get nobody. Nobody wants the job. And people who are running can't get enough votes. So, I mean, it is a sign of just how dysfunctional our government is. It's a sign of how fractured we are. And it is a sign for your enemies that want to do harm or bring down the so-called greatest nation on earth. We're doing it ourselves, but to help the process, this display of rebellion and dysfunction is a sign for those who wish to do harm to you that it's time. And I will never forget, I don't know if I showed y'all that video or if I did a video. I might have wrote about it on Medium about that former KGB agent who talked about how a lot of these countries will play the long game. And I'm sure America does it too, but they're doing this psyop on us. And while they're doing that, they're also waiting until the right moment to do whatever it is that they want to do to pay us back or to get at us. So it's not a good thing what's happening. But I don't think that anything is a coincidence. I think this is all done on purpose. So With that said, keep an eye out on this. I don't know how long this is going to drag out, but the timing of it is insane. Like, how could it happen now? We only have like maybe 20 days, 20 something days left before the federal budget authorization ends. It's right before the holidays when people are supposed to be all excited about spending their money and spending time with family. We're right in the throes of another war, and we've given unwavering support to one nation while ignoring the other nation. Um, just a lot of stuff is happening. A lot of stuff is happening. A lot of stuff is happening. And I keep thinking about this other video that I'm going to show you where Papa said that the black community will suffer more than any other community. I'm not. They keep calling us out, and I don't think they're calling us out for any reason. So I'm going to upload that video shortly. But y'all keep an eye out on what's happening. Don't sleep on this stuff because it's a lot of pieces that got to come together for this global order, this new global order, this new agenda that they have planned, this last final government before this earth is set on fire. Before the end comes. So we need to keep watch. We need to keep prepping. We need to continue praying. We need to continue seeking the Most High so that we will know how to move and so that we won't be shaken when these things happen. Because for me, I don't be surprised when nothing happened. I'll be like, I seen that. I saw that chess move. Okay, we right on schedule. So, for whatever reason, I'm able to put these things together or these things just drop into my spirit. I don't know why the Most High puts them in my spirit, but I appreciate y'all who don't think I'm crazy, who don't think I'm crazy. But I'm just watching. Like, I mean, this stuff is in the Bible. It's been prophesied, and then you have the Satanists who have basically told you their plans. So we're watching their plans, come to fruition. We are watching biblical prophecy unfold in real time. And for those of us who have eyes to see, we can see it. A lot of people cannot. And so for me, when you can see it, it eliminates the fear. Now, I'm not saying it's not stressful, and I'm not saying that I don't at sometimes, waver when it comes to my strength. Some days I just feel like I'm I'm alone. I can see this stuff, and it's not important to other people as it is to me. But I have to keep going back to the word. Everybody is not meant to see what we see in this hour, and so we're blessed. We are special. We are chosen to see in this hour, and so because we're chosen, one, we must warn others, but two, we can't ever get to the point where we are so comfortable that we feel as though we know it all, we got it all, we're special, and so we don't have any obligation to share this information with other people. We always got to share this information. And so I would pray that you all, share these videos. Even if people don't watch them, share them, because that means the blood is not on your hands. Even if they don't watch them, it's not on you. You learn something, you're trying to share with other people and wake other people up and help them be proactive instead of reactive after something happens, because the hour is coming where we're not going to be able to talk about this stuff. The hour is coming where the internet is going to be down. The hour is coming where we're going to have a purge. It's going to be the survival of the fittest, survival of the smartest, survival of the wokest, and not that woke that them other folks come up with. I'm talking about woke, like the Most High woke. You are awakened. The scales off of your eyes. You can see, you got your spiritual discernment is working, is strong, it's kicking in. You're going to be able to read people. You're going to be able to read the air. You're going to be able to sniff. You're going to be like a wolf out in the wilderness. That time is coming. And so a lot of people are not going to make it because they were not paying attention, didn't get the signs, don't know what to look for. And so when we can see these things coming, and you can put some stuff together. You may not know, you may not have all the pieces. I don't have all the pieces. You don't have all the pieces. But if we work together, everybody, so many people working to try to figure stuff out and warn people, which is a beautiful thing. But the hour is coming where we're not going to be able to do that because the powers control everything. So these evil communications are not going to work for us. And so you got to absorb what you can absorb. You got to pay attention to what you can pay attention to now. And then you have to act now. Um, this is not anything to play with, but I definitely don't think the things that are happening now are coincidental. And I think that African American people, they keep calling us out for a reason. They don't call out any other ethnic group in this country except for us. And I think they want us to have a cold winter. I think they want us to perish. I think they want us to have challenges because they don't want us. They already have our replacements here and they don't need us anymore, or at least they think they don't need us anymore. Um, so we gotta make sure we are okay. We gotta make sure we try to wake up our people. And I know a lot of our people are not gonna wake up. It's on them, but still, we must do what we have to do to try to wake them up so that we don't have any blood on our hands. And that's all you can do. Talk to the people in your area, talk to the people in your family, talk to your neighbors, share this stuff on your social media feeds. And hey, if people watch it, cool. If they don't, it's on them. They can't say if it showed up in their news feed and they chose to scroll past it, it's on them. Their own blood is on their hands. You have no obligation to do nothing, because people have now time to watch, ask questions, get information, get prepared, get knowledge, and get wisdom. If they don't get it, it's on them. All right, this is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you share this type of content with others because I think, we don't really have long before something happens where we're not going to be able to communicate. And there's so much chaos, so much stuff going on that it's just really getting confusing. You don't know what to follow. You don't know what to believe. You don't, I have to now kind of sit back and watch stuff before I speak on it because things are moving so quickly. And you'll talk about something and have one perspective one day, and then before you know it, you learn something else. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. And then there's a lot of people who are just coming up. I've noticing a whole lot of new people on YouTube that I've never seen before, which is something else that we have to watch out for because the powers are still psyoping us. And so they're going to, especially in the African American community, they're going to put provocateurs and they're going to put a misleadership class in here. They're going to put um, divisive issues and topics and things to steer our attention away from the things that we should be paying attention to. And I'll give you a prime example. You look at Hollywood, we talking about Tyrese and Samantha Lee. We're talking about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. We're talking about which celebrities are divorcing and who's cheating on who and Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, and that stuff don't matter. It doesn't matter. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce or whatever his name is. Nobody don't care. Them people ain't gonna. Nothing is there. Whatever's going on in their lives, not gonna keep you from what's coming. But those are the things that are bombarding, in particular, the African American community, and nobody's paying attention to the things that matter. And so I don't think it's by accident. I do not think it's by accident. And even these discussions about men and women, men need to do this, women need to do this, modern women, trash. Um, I hate men, trash. I mean, it's all just meant to divide so they can conquer the ones that they want to conquer. So that's why I don't buy into any of it. I'll speak to it from time to time. But there's a reason that our community is so dysfunctional. And I'm not saying that, we individually don't play a role in our own dysfunction, but we have to understand that we're in captivity and we're in a system that thrives off of us being dysfunctional. It thrives off of us not working together. It thrives off of us not being a family unit. And so I try not to get caught up in that. But unfortunately, there are more people who are caught up in it and who are too wounded and too immature to uh, rise above it and get out of it and then try to work to pull other people out of it. So people are so caught up in money and fame and getting views and blowing up channels or whatever, that they don't see the big picture, because what they're looking at ain't the real thing that we should be paying attention to. So don't get caught up in that stuff, because if you do, you'll be distracted. And while you're looking over there, this thing over here be happening. And before you know it, you're going to be in a nation that's under attack. We're under attack now, but we're going to be under attack from a lot of different angles and a lot of different nations and a lot of different people. And that's something that we African Americans cannot afford to overlook, because we are the least liked group on this earth, and everybody got smoke for us. So none of that stuff matters. None of it matters. This type of stuff matters because we're in captivity here. So we got to keep up with what's going on with our captivity. Until we leave, we need to know about captivity. How we going to sustain ourselves while we're in this phase of our captivity, and lean on the Most High, because he is going to give us, he's going to be our light to get out of it, to get out of this. He's going to be our our savior. Like there's no way for us to get out of this. And so, with the biblical prophecy happening right before our eyes, and then we have Satanists. So if you have people that are actually worshiping Satan, that means they hate God. So there has to be a Most High. There has to be a Elohim. There has to be something on the other side that counters that evil that we are living in. We're living in this wicked world. So you gotta fortify yourselves with the word. You gotta fortify yourselves with faith. You gotta do it even if nobody else is there to help you and encourage you and love on you. We just gotta have that faith ourselves. And I know it's hard, because it's hard for me too. But we gotta keep doing it. We gotta keep going, because if we do not, this world's gonna eat us alive, and it's trying its best right now. So keep praying, keep prepping, keep seeking the Most High, keep repenting daily for sins of commission, sins of omission. Keep trying to obey those law, statutes, and commandments. There's a really good message about Sabbath. I know Sabbath is confusing for a lot of people. It's been confusing for me. But there's a discussion about the moon, and I'm going to play it on this channel, about how we're supposed to keep the Sabbath, and how Seventh-day Adventists and other people who keep Sabbath on Saturday keep it, and it's not right. And so, as followers of the way, of the Most High's way, we need to learn how to keep the Sabbath properly. So I'm going to play something for you that teaches us the right way. It's directly from the word. And you could take it or leave it, but we're going to have to learn some things, and we're going to have to try. We're going to get credit for trying in Babylon, because uh, we are so confused and so misled, and we got so many things we've been programmed with that we have to deprogram ourselves away from. But, we got to try to do the best that we can under the circumstances, and we have some terrible circumstances. But if we don't try, we're just not going to be grandfathered out of this. We're going to be judged too. So I'd rather be judged by the Most High than this world, because if you're African American, we're already judged. We're already condemned to die from the moment that we're born, because this world hates us. So let us choose life. everlasting life over anything else, and um, do the best that we can while we still can, while we have a little daylight left. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all. Keep watch. And I'm out.